Henshaw. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're already existing, welcome back guys. We're doing an autumn wreath haul in the hot summer. You're going to be prepared. You're going to be prepared, okay? We're going to be prepared. Wearing autumnal lipstick. My hair's getting faded by the sun, but it's going autumnal colours. Autumnal blouse. Yay, we're ready for it. I don't have a cup of tea on the go, which I should do. Pepsi as usual. If you know me, that's what I've got going on. So, I'm going to start off. You need some kind of wreath form to do this video. So, I already have a wreath. This cost me, I think it was £38 and it was £40 including the postage. It's a eucalyptus wreath. It was online. I can't remember where I bought this from, but if you type into Google eucalyptus wreath, something like this should come up. Now this is a little bit pricey, but up until a couple of years ago, I always bought a brand new Christmas wreath every year. £25 from the market or the florist, and I've had this for 2 years now, so it's actually ended up paying for itself, just because even if I only used it for 2 Christmases, it's paid for itself. But I don't just use this for Christmas. I'll put eggs in it in the Easter, I'll put bright flowers in it in the summer, you know, autumn stuff in the autumn, and then I add loads of like frosted berries and a big red bow at Christmas. Something like this never dates, and you can just have a plain wreath hung up on the door. It looks very rustic, very country farmhouse, looks really, really nice. But you can also, if you don't want to go and buy a wreath, you can buy the ring wreaths and buy some of these sort of eucalyptus stems, and you can sort of just tie them on with some florist wire, going round in a circle to create the same type wreath, because that's just basically how it's made. Or you can go into the pound shop, buy these, a metal hanger, twine it out into a circle, florist wire on string, tie it on, going round in a circle, following the shape round that way, and then you will end up with a wreath. I did just try and film that, and I got in a right kerfuzzle. Weren't even onto the decorating part, and we was 11 minutes in, and I thought no one wants to be sitting there watching me try and half attempt to make a circular wreath from eucalyptuses when it's not coming out great, because I'm trying to hold it up rather than holding it flat to the table, which I'm meant to, because you won't see it, and there's no point me talking about something that you can't see. So I'm going to get on to me decorating the autumnal wreath. Now the things I'm going to need is my stems that I bought from the pound shop. So I've got this globe thistles. I got some of these, I got these from, these weren't in my video, I got these the other day. They're like little frosted pine cone sprigs, you get free on that one. Got this lovely burgundy with like green tip eucalyptuses. These are all £1 from the pound shop. They've got these in there as well. These are not for this video, but they're pink. And they are quite autumnal, but I find them quite spring, so I'm going to save these for when I make that up for spring. But you can have these. If you have pink decor, you can use that for your autumnal wreath. You can use what you want. If you've seen my pumpkin tutorial, I've made little tiny pumpkins, and these are to go in my wreath as well. I'm using them in neutral colour scheme just because I want it to be an autumnal wreath, but I want it to go with my decor as well. So I won't be using oranges or like black and white checks, what you'll see in a lot of like sort of autumnal or orangey leaves. I will use a few burgundies and a few browns, but most of it will be like a nice neutral champagne-y sort of colour scheme, just so that it blends in. Also I've got some nice big jute fabric. It's with some like ribbon, like some lace ribbon on it. It's quite long. Got this from the range, come on a big roll. But I've had it folded in my little haberdashery cupboard for ages. Probably would need ironing before I use it, but I've got that. To tie on the bits that I've got, you can either use plain jute or green jute to make it more disguised. I've got this from the pound shop as well as the other one. I've got that. And you can use florist wire. Florist wire is easy, much easier probably, but I am a user of what I have. So there is no point going out spending money. If you've got rope or string that you can tie it onto with it, there isn't much point. And with my wreath, it's so thick and bulked out, a lot of the stuff I can shove in and it won't come out anyway. So that's more for certain accessories. I'm using the metallic spray paint from Wilkinson's, and this is in the champagne colour. This was £5. But it's gone back up to £6 now actually, so it will be £6 if you try and get it. But it's much cheaper than other places like Rust-Oleum and other brands. And I've already sprayed some of my stems. These are the ones so that you know what they look like before. I've sprayed them with champagne. What I did do is if you've got polystyrene or you've got some, I bought this, it was only £1 from Home Bargains, and it's a floral kind of display thing that you soak water into it and then you can pop them in, it keeps them in on a wreath and stuff like that. So I popped my stems, but I do want to spray paint. I also got these from the pound shop. They were just the same colour green as this all over. They were really not very nice. So what I've done is I stabbed them all into this. You can use polystyrene left over from a delivery box or something like that. And I spray painted them away from my face with the champagne paint. But this works amazing because you can turn this upside down, get all of the nooks and crannies. It's perfect for spray paint, you don't get none of it on your hand. So that's the spray paint I use to spray paint my sprigs. So what I've basically done is I've cut these individually off separately, stuck them in the polystyrene, give them a little spray. And it sort of warms them up a little bit rather than just being all green. So I've got those, and I've also got, lastly, in Wilkinson's, they had this vanilla potpourri, but they've got loads of golds and sort of twiny, twiggy sort of colours in it, and some creams. And I thought just a few bits of this would be really, really nice to sort of fluff out into my wreath. And also, just from my garden, some of the bits that are turning autumnal, some of the leaves and the trees, I've just snipped off, and I can add these if I want to. You can make a whole wreath out of stuff that you've got in your garden using the hanger trick. Literally just make something completely for free. It won't last forever, but the leaves will go more brown and crispy, and it will turn more autumnal as it gets more autumnal as the season goes by. Or, I'm just going to show you quickly as well, you can use a twiggy heart or anything like this. I've done one of these yesterday on my Instagram, that's Rosie Henshaw. I added some pumpkins and some little eucalyptus stems to these, and it just looked really lovely. And it's just really plain, and I know a lot of people have hanging hearts or circular sort of wreaths that are in this material. You can use this and sort of jazz this up as well. I don't know if I've already said that, because as I said, I tried to film the other one first. Now we're going to decorate. So, to start off with, I'm going to be using a couple of the champagne stems. Now, I did start using the eucalyptus, so these are the bright green eucalyptuses, and these are sprayed in the champagne. Now, I've got 2 of these. I did have 4 of these, but I used some on my other wreath. And all I'm going to do is try and get some form. So I'm going to try and just shove in into the wreath where I can. I'm going to put one there. And then try and go wherever you put one, put it on the opposite side. So trying to go with the flow of the wreath. I have got more. And then I'm going to try and go in these gaps here, so it's sort of like a quarter way round. A lot of this you can just sort of weave through. Mine don't necessarily need tying down, but if you do need to tie it down, just tie it on. I did just have another one. I just see it. I know I see it. I know I see it. These are just being a little bit of a catastrophe, this, isn't it? So I've got 3 in there. Now what I'm going to use as well is the sort of like globe thistles. Spray painted these in champagne as well. So I'm going to just go wherever I can find a nice space, keeping away from the... Can you see the champagne, or is it not very good lighting? I've got 3 of these. That's actually worked out quite well. So I've got a gap there between them 3, between them 2. I've lost a head. And then I've got a gap here. So I'm gonna shove that in there. So that just gives a little bit of silver, a little bit of champagne to it. I'm also gonna snip the little burgundy ones. Low battery. What a shocker. I'm also gonna snip the burgundy ones. So I'm gonna snip these with my snips, about that length. Probably bored you all with trying to explain why I'm putting certain things, what you need. At the beginning I should have just basically showed you as I went along, but so if I've lost you, I've lost you, and if you're on here, you're still on here. Now these burgundy ones, I'm not keen on the lime actually at the bottom of these, so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to snip the lime bit off. I was going to spray paint these, but I just want the sort of like the burgundy. I don't want that lime colour on the end. And then what I'm going to do is, so they're right near the front, because I want you to see a bit of like autumnal colour coming through. I'm going to push them in. I'm just going to try and fill the gaps in. So I know I've got 4 of them. So I'm just going to try and fill. I did try and order an easel for this so that you'd be able to see how I basically do this, and I can't film downwards onto it where you just see my hands. There was no way I could sort of like balance the phone above me. So if this is the worst video, it probably is, and you just have to either not watch or deal with it because it's awful. So, right, can you see the sort of like burgundies in there and the champagnes? So already it's starting to look a little bit autumnal. Now, I just got some bits from the bag. So from the bag of potpourri, I thought these were quite lovely. There's some like little like curly twists. So I think what I'm going to do is get a little bit of jute. I'm going to use the brown twine, cut it with scissors. And it's got like a little gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this through the little hole to make sure it's in. Let's twist that right round. Get that in the centre. Oh, here we go. You can open it a little bit. So I'm going to put the rope in there and then close it. And I'm going to tie this onto the wreath. These smell amazing, by the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a branch that I want to tie it to. And I'm just going to tie it to the branch. This is all fairly easy because a lot of this, if you're not wanting to save the jute, you can sort of just cut this off once you're in a new season. So I'm putting some, I'm going to get that to go with the weight of the wreath, and I'm going to put one about here. I'm going to do the same thing, cut my jute. Broke that one, never mind. Means I've got a few more to put in. This one isn't as malleable. Oh, look at me, checking me out with the words. So I'm going to put this one about here. So I'm going to... Yeah, baby? We ain't invited to Ava's yet. Ava said she's not going to be home until 2:30, darling. Come in. Come in. So I've just added. Where's your top?
I took it off because there was a window and it was coming up. Mum, don't let me in the picture.
Get out of the picture then. Go round there. So we've done that. So I've added those. So I don't know if you can see up close. It's getting quite autumnal. Also, I'm going to add some more the ones from the Poundland. So if you already have this wreath, basically that bag is £3 for that potpourri. I will be using this throughout. I've used 2 little bits from it, but I've used 3 stems from the pound shop, so that's £3. I'm going to use this one, so that'd be £4. You can easily do this. I think once you've got the outlay of your initial spend for the wreath, I'm going to take that one off so it can sort of shove in. Now, I'm probably thinking sort of about here. And sort of twine that in.
Maybe there's a bee inside our house.
That's all right, darling. It's only a bee. Bring it round. I like it to look quite twiggy, and I like it to look quite rustic. That might not be the vibe that others go for. I do really like that look. You're gonna let it out?
Yeah, but I can't. Because the door is what?
Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna add that one in there. So if you can see, it's getting really autumnal. And I'm gonna have a little look through the little potpourri box. There's loads of like lovely little like gold flowers you can put it. I find them a bit more Christmassy. Darling, no, I'm not getting it out yet. But the bit that I really like is this sort of like, at the very bottom, it's very autumnal, frilly sort of like orange curled wood. I think this is really nice. I'm going to break it up into 4 sections, and I think this would shove in just quite nicely behind, maybe smaller pieces. This sort of stuff, I think it's quite lucky really that I like rustic style, because I can't really make things very well. So I'm just going to shove that in there. So you're going to get a little bit of brown coming through. So it's getting really autumnal, it's really green. This is just stuff from Wilkinson's. Baby, you've got no top on, go over there. Go over there, just put no top on, sweetheart. So, if I shove that. So we've got some brown coming through, so we've got a bit there, bit there, bit there. I like to have a little bit of like unsymmetry. So sort of like on the opposite sides, but I like to sort of fill in the gaps, so like maybe things in threes. Now I would say that that foliage is nearly there, if I'm honest. I might even add the 2 real ones from my garden, sort of like strip them down a bit, the leaves, and add one, I don't know, that's a bit too brown, I think. Do we need it? I think one about there. Baby. Away from the camera, sweetheart. Baby. Away from the camera, please. And then stick this one down, this one's a bit long. Darling, there's some dangerous people and you mustn't be on the camera with your top off. Out the way, sweetheart. That's probably a good point, darling. But I've already nearly finished. I'm not going to try and redo it. So go on, out the way. And I've shoved the other one in there. So this is really autumnal. And if I get really close to the camera, I've got like champagnes and burgundies. You can't play on the bench anyway. You'll scratch the bench. Kids. 6 weeks holidays. So now...
Mom!
Yes?
Let me in.
You can come in. Go around that side. I'm not saying you can't be in here. I'm saying don't stand behind me. So many other spaces. There's a large room. Just go around the other side. That's right. So now I've got pumpkins. And I'm really liking how this is looking. And I kind of think it looks a bit more bare up here. So I'm thinking maybe putting the pumpkins here. Now, on the jute that you tie all the way around the body, if you just loop one of them up and put a bit of string through it and tie it, and then cut it, so you end up having 2 ends, so you can tie it in. Or alternatively, if you've still got the hole at the bottom, the leftover stick off of the twigs, you can sort of shove in the bottom of the hole, and you can pop these in. Pop them in like that. Just tuck the twine behind. So we've got another leftover stick. Oh, these are so hard to cut. Darling, come on, I'm not telling you again. Come on, you're being cheeky now. Out of the way of the camera. Please. Is there? Will you get it out for me, please?
I did.
Oh, good boy. Will you go stand over there, please, for Mummy? Just because I get scared for you, that's all. Good boy. Right. And then, kids, drive you insane that you wouldn't change them any other way. Right. Well, the stick plan is rubbish. The stick plan is rubbish. You can see I'm melting under pressure now, so I'm going to actually tie it on to one of the twigs. I've lost the stalk, so I'm just going to put the stalk in. And I'm thinking of putting the 3 of them kind of together, or maybe 2 together, the 2 large ones. So I'm going to put this through. I'm actually going to put this through, rather than put it in the hole, I'm going to thread this through the jute. My videos are honestly catastrophic. Catastrophic. And then sort of bend it at the top so it's in there and it can't come out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to thread it near the other one. Let's loop this through. My goodness. Honestly, I didn't think it'd be so difficult to try and show you. I normally do these wreaths within minutes. But I'm finding it extremely difficult to show you because I've got nothing to sort of hang this onto to do it. So, got the 2, I will put the last pumpkin there. So in the last pumpkin, I'm going to tie onto a stem. Oh my goodness, this video is ridiculously long. You're not going to learn from it, but it's been an experience. So then I've got my 3 pumpkins together, and I think I'll probably hang it like that so it's at the side. Now, if you want to buff this out more, they did have these in the pound shop as well. So these are like the long stems, they're like the, I don't know, like the ball, the globes. They were this bright colour green all over and tiny little white bits on it. So I just champagne sprayed the top. And you could probably, so what I'm doing is I'm just looping it back in on the other side. You could probably add some like large spheres into this. Let me just try and think. I've used a little bit of the £3 bag of potpourri, but you can get these anywhere really in champagne colours, probably in the pound shop too. So I've used a tiny bit of that, so say like £1 worth of that. Got this, £6. But a lot of you have all this sort of stuff already. You've got so much of this left over so you can do other crafts at Christmas. You've already got your wreath. So the pumpkins I made for free. They were just stuff that I already had. I've got 2 of these, so they're at £2. I used the cone, what are they called? Pine cones? The pine cone sprigs, that's £3. The bright purple one, £4, and the other one sprayed silver, £5. So if you buy your basics and you change this every year, it should change to cost about £5 each season. But once you've got the stuff for the season, you can put this all in a box once you took it off, and it'll be ready. My goodness, this tutorial is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I'll probably put that one there because I'm going to put my bow. Please, no one judge me. Well, no, you're allowed to judge, but please be kind. So we've picked up a stem. So it's really coming together. It's looking really autumnal. It looks really great. Yeah, I don't know really what else to say. I've messed up so bad. Now, a lot of people don't know how to make these bows. Normally you'd need these wired if you're going to make these kind of bows. But you literally just leave a long piece and fold and fold and fold. Leave that. And then what you would do is get a piece of jute or wire. A lot of people use wire. Tie this round the middle. Tie it. Oh goodness me. See, these sort of things I've always made, and I've always thought I'm never going to do a YouTube video for it because I won't be able to video, and I was right. When people say you can do anything, yeah, but know your limits. And then basically pull all these, spread them out, all the big circles to get a big like farmhouse kind of ribbon. And then what I'm going to do is at the bottom, I'm going to pinch the 2 inner corners in. I like to fold it and snip from the side that's folded to the end of the corners, like on a V. So it ends up like that. Well, it should end up like that because that looks atrocious. It should end up like that. And then I'm gonna, yet again, fold the two outside corners together and then cut on an angle. So cut on an angle like that. And then we're ending up with, they're not even the same length. Rosie, what are you on today, love? What are you on today, love? Let's do that again. Well, at least we get more practice in. So you fold it and then on an angle towards the ends. And you end up with this. So it's still got, I kind of like that little rustic bit of the bow at the front. So you pull all these round. Really make sure we really fluff it out. Needs an iron. I know it needs an iron. I said that at the beginning of the video, it would need an iron. And then I'm gonna probably tie this at the top so that when it's hung up, it's my autumnal wreath, including belly. You didn't need to see belly there, did you, as well? It's gonna look like that. Let's try and stand this up to get this last bit. Don't tell me that it would have stood up the whole time. You would have seen it. You wouldn't have seen it. So, last bit. I'm going to get a bit of string. What a foul. And I'm just going to put the string underneath. And then over the top, tie it up at the back. And try and fluff this the best that I can. And then, you know, a really easy way to iron this now is to get some hair straighteners and just go over it. Should admit that it's probably like a fire hazard or something, and I'm just saying do it. Don't do it. But that is my farmhouse rustic autumnal wreath. And I will do something like this at Christmas. I will do something like this at Easter. I will always do things like this. But if you've got a wicker hanging heart and you'd like a similar effect, you can always add some nice little foliage to it. Some little foliage. And then you could probably put a couple of the pumpkins on the bottom, like I did on the other wreath. And you can, you know, or some bits from, some pieces from the potpourri bag. You can just literally go mad in your house. Some little gold balls, tie them in, another autumnal wreath, that took 2 seconds. You can literally do what you want with anything you've got in your house. I've got a large wicker heart in my dining room, anyone that watches my videos. So I tend to just put loads of sprigs and stuff in that to sprig that out. Not all of my autumn videos are going to be this terrible. They won't be. Some of them are really easy, this is a really easy one. It really is an easy one. I think if I had an easel or something to lean this on or stand this on, I was a bit nervous to do it there in case I knocked all my china off. And then I thought, if I take all my china off, that's a bit dramatic just to make a wreath. So hopefully you like this, and hopefully the tutorial wasn't like the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. But these are all kind of champagne-y kind of colours, and you've got a little bit of colours of the wheat and stuff in there. So this is going to look really nice hanging on my door. I will take photographs if you want to see it styled up, and that's on my Instagram, Rosie Henshaw Home. I'm going to put that down in the description box. I'm so sorry this video has been ridiculous. I say that every video, and I do kind of mean it. I do mean it, and I think, well, it might not be as bad when you see it back. This one I know, I just know. You have a gut feeling, you know it. But hopefully, even if you've learned one thing from this video, it being that I can't film. Hopefully we've had fun together. Probably haven't even been speaking to you where I'm like, oh, when I watch this back. But it comes out okay. The look at the end is good. The look at the end is good. It's autumnal. It's just cute. I'm knocking everything over. I've got to go. I cannot redo this surely to do another video. So I'm going to say, I've been Rosie Henshaw. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you sort of get what I'm doing with this, how easy it is to just shove autumnal bits into it, into a normal bog standard wreath to get it look quite luxurious, quite like you've had it done at a florist. Looks quite real really. You might not be into the bow, you might just prefer it without, or I could tie it under. You can do what you want to it, any colour scheme you want. And you can, anything that's on this could have been orange to make it really, really pop, that autumnal traditional colours. But I'm having it like this for my decor. So I've been Rosie Henshaw. Thank you for the previous comments in all the other videos, and you have a lovely rest of your week. Take care.